Welcome to Get Serious, this Mindset Sunday. And this one also is tactical too. I'm weaving in some AI elements. I know I had mentioned on a few podcasts over, I don't know, roughly the past month or something, that I was building out this Sage Mode Claude project that basically was taking, 100 plus detailed Q&A from myself of like my 10 out of 10 operating self, across business and life, across tons of different topics, just to really orient me with the understanding that I think pretty much all of us, the highest version of ourselves is like the best coach and advice giver that we have. Like, we all actually know what we need to do. It's just, sometimes we really struggle. Oftentimes we really struggle on actually executing on it. So I wanted like a back and forth with like the highest version of myself mixed with a ton of other mentors and and quotes and general wisdom. Like it was a huge grab bag of things, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna have like a more active dialogue with this Claude project, just for kind of a board member perspective and just kind of like maintaining alignment with wise choices. And the initial intention of that project, there were some sound conversations, but I found myself like not really going to, like, it wasn't getting the actual day-to-day utility and habit forming that I really wanted. I had noted over the past few weeks or so, especially as we were waiting for some deals to potentially close, and like I didn't want to overreach myself. Plus, I was a bit blocked with, my land pricer engineers still working on the product, and like I couldn't necessarily push them even faster than they were already sprinting on it. And some days like just felt a little just up in the air and just like too reactive. Myself and my team were just spinning our wheels more than I would have liked. And so I kind of dumped all of this into Sage. I'm like, I need more. Like I need to get my shit together, frankly. And just having less reactivity within the business, and like I could just see, okay, if you really have goals to try to be $1 billion+ AUM business, like there's a long way to go, and you got to be executing at a much higher level than what you're currently doing. And so like I dumped all this into Sage Mode, and like again, I orient my AI to be pretty intense. Like I'm a more intense personality, and it's I like the brutal truth, and that's the thing too. Is I'd rather have the AI overcompensate in that direction, because like it's usually AI is like so obsequious and people pleasing. Like it wants to deliver results to you and kind of people please. So I would rather have it oriented more to be harsher and really try to tear ideas apart, because that's just frankly more valuable in general. Like something to call you out, because that's one of the hardest things to really find in life, especially for actual sound advice. And so it's not like it talks to me that it's like putting me down per se, or like crazy like drill sergeant, but it's more of like orienting the AI to like I see and speaking from the perspective of AI, like I see greatness in you and I need to pull it out. Like you like trying to shake the greatness out of me, instead of like almost like a slap across the face of like wake up. That's how I've oriented the AI to be just trying to have it realize or make me realize my own potential. Like that is the structure here to give you a better idea. And so like when I dumped all this into Sage Mode, I'm like, I think we should change like the instructions of this project. Like I need just more like direction, like from like a chief of staff type thing. If I could have someone like orienting the company on what to do more, like that is I think going to be a better approach. And I'm just going to read a little bit from the AI's response here. So I think it's just super informative, the tone here, and I just like have to laugh a bit at it. And so it's look, you need to stop romanticizing Sage Mode and get real about what's actually broken. You're not lacking wisdom or mentorship. You're lacking execution discipline and operational control. Your calendar feels empty because you haven't built the systems to fill it with revenue generating activities. And your team spins because you haven't given them clear priorities and accountability structures. And that was just, 100% right. Like so often when I'm going into this, and again, like you only get in from or get out from AI what you put into it. Like you really have to ask the right questions and reorient. And I give a ton of context, and like when you get a solid response like that, and just like again, it's like a slap across the face, right? Like, you know, you're just doing this wrong, man. Like you need to execute better. And then again, like I knew that inherently, but like the way that it was being kind of spoken back to me was just helpful to start, you know, reorienting my brain cells around what actually needs to happen here. And so then it's like, you know, going over the recommendation of like, yeah, transforming this into a chief of staff system. That is the approach going forward. And you need to have, you know, like a morning priority setting based on revenue impact, calendar optimization for deep work blocks, you know, team task delegation, end of day accountability reviews, you know, Sunday prep for the week ahead, Wednesday midweek calibration, Friday review preview system. You know, I have that built in. I know that from like Sharon Srivatsa, you know, $1 billion operator. Like, okay, you have all of these tools here, and here's your BD focus, like SLC. You're targeting deals of 150K plus, ideally. And land price are like, you need to get out more marketing materials for an imminent launch here. Like, there's only so much I can do on the product side, but you know, do what you can. And you know, like stop trying to combine everything in like one mega project. You know, and then like the final question is like, you know, the question is whether, you know, it isn't whether you should adapt the instructions, it's whether you're actually going to use them to execute or just create another beautiful system that sits unused. What's it going to be? Like, again, that kind of harsher truth-seeking language here that really forces, you know, what are you going to do here, man? So, you know, I updated the instructions. I added a ton more project knowledge from other parts of Claude projects to give a lot more context for the businesses, like the actual revenue goals, linking to like our KPIs and finances, et cetera. So it has the real, again, you got to input into AI in order to get the best outputs here. So like you really got to work to give it the right knowledge so it knows what to pull from and have the right context so it can give proper advice back. And so like I added those pieces in, and now it's a lot easier because you can just have Claude link directly to Google Docs. And so like it's less, you know, copy paste type avenues. It's like, you know, you can link project knowledge across multiple projects here. That's again another discussion, but that's just using Claude connectors. It's getting better every single day. And so we just reoriented that, and it's like, okay, like if you know, you need to start thinking like a $1 billion AUM operator here. Like, this is the pathway to follow. You have all these other examples from, you know, people who have been doing this, and like, if you're actually serious about doing this, here is the route that you're going to have to follow. Again, you've already laid out what, you know, the right pathway is. You're saying that this is a goal, this is within your project knowledge, so start treating it as such here, and start, you know, being more rigorous with your calendar. Like I was feeling like you know, kind of embarrassed even talking about this sometimes here, because it's like, yeah, I'm not fully up to snuff here. I still have so much work to do to get to the next level. But it's like, okay, am I actually going to update my execution and follow through with it? And that's the thing. So, you know, now this thing is actually getting more usage. Like, here's a daily, you know, check in here and before the following next day. Because that's the thing too, is like $1 billion operators, they're not waking up in the morning like wondering, okay, what am I going to do today? It's like that was already planned out at least the previous day, so you can just stay on task. And sure, there's, you know, reactive things that can come up here. You know, some slack has to be built in the system, but generally you should be knowing what you're going to be doing that following day. And again, like Sharon will point out, is like, can you go to bed knowing that you and your team have something to show for that previous day? Like, what do you have to show for it? Sometimes it's a really hard thing to figure out. And again, I'm trying to spin my wheels way too much. Sometimes I think a ton of business owners do that all the time. Like, they don't have anything to show for all the work that you're doing throughout the day. And, you know, that happens to me more often than I care to admit. So, and we still like have grown pretty well. Like, we're one of the biggest names in the industry, right? So it's like we're succeeding in spite of a lot of issues that could be, you know, further optimized within the business. So like, I just have to be mindful of that. You know, so just update a lot of those instructions. Also instruct my team, like ops manager, hey, like, I'm still going to be assigning things for you. You'd still have your key tasks to take care of, the various SOPs to follow. But like, if you find yourself with any downtime here, go to the chief of staff. It has all of our revenue goals for like the next quarter, year, 3 years, etc. For both land pricer and serious land capital. Figure out where can I help? What do I need to orient on? Like this is really, again, the power of AI here. Like if you dump all of your info to, if you actually, figured out, okay, these are the goals I want to hit, it has all of that, so you can't really forget it. And it just keeps bringing you back. Okay, what are you doing to actually generate, the revenue and the results? Have something to show for it based on what you said your goals were. Like, here's the route to do it. Giving your team the freedom to work within that too, so then they can continue to build up their own projects and figure out what other holes can I fill to keep the business moving forward. That's what I wanted to empower as well here. So hopefully this is helpful to you as well, to continue to be vulnerable here, but hopefully you guys appreciate that. Again, I wish, I could just, share that I'm making like $1 million a day and just like closing deals left and right here. But, it would certainly make my life a lot easier, but, it's not the immediate truth right now. We're working to get better every single day, just like you. So I've got to share the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we have a long way to go. But I promise you guys the truth, and that's what I'm working to deliver on. So hopefully you appreciate that. SeriousLand.capital for any of your funding needs, and Land Daily Diligence Facebook group for zero cost review of your land deals, and landpricer.ai for the most reliable land pricing tool on the market. Hope this one was helpful. Subscribe and share. I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.